Massive shout out to Alexander Usyk. Did a fantastic performance tonight over Daniel Dubois, a good young game lad who come for a good tear up.
This time around it's going to be totally different. I'm gonna win for a start, and you know, we're going to just change history. It's going to be, all eyes are going to be on this. This is the biggest fight in the world, and I'm so, you know, confident. And
Tyson Fury didn't just respond to Daniel Dubois' call-out, he dismantled it with a brutal reality check. Dubois, riding high on recent wins, boldly claimed he could beat the Gypsy King, but Fury didn't flinch. He didn't even take the threat seriously. He laughed it off, calling Dubois' ambition laughable, and promised that if they ever shared the ring...
I did come back, hypothetically speaking, if I was to return, and I was to box Daniel Dubois, I would box that motherfucker's ears off. He wouldn't land the glove on me. It'd be one-sided.
It would be a one-sided masterclass. There was no respect given, no hint of mercy. According to Fury, Dubois wouldn't even land a clean punch. That's how a champion silences the noise, by making it crystal clear who runs the division. Dubois, meanwhile, has been barking louder than ever. He's demanding Fury face him for all the belts, claiming he's ready to cement his...
Yeah, he's gonna talk some shit. He's gonna come back. So, you know, all of that, it's all good for the fight. But I need to show them that if he's gonna come back, he's gonna have to face me for all the belts. So that's my real priority right now, is getting all them belts and, you know, really stamping my authority on this division, on this
his place at the top. But the truth is, stamping authority on an era isn't about demanding fights. It's about beating real champions, something Fury has already done repeatedly. While Dubois is still chasing validation, Fury has been at the mountaintop for years. That hunger Dubois carries is admirable, but stepping into the ring with the Gypsy King is a mountain he's nowhere near ready to climb. And just when the noise seemed to be growing louder, Tyson Fury calmly shut it down again with the same confidence that's...
And it's a fight that I think can happen for sure if I decide to come back and the deal's right and all the other shit.
Made him a global star. He made it clear that everything happens on his terms. If he comes back, it won't be because Dubois called him out. It will be a calculated return, a move made to remind the world who truly rules the heavyweight division. Dubois may want the shot, but Fury decides when, where, and how. That's the difference between being a contender and being a legacy fighter. That's power. As Fury played chess with the entire division, pundits began weighing in on whether Dubois even had a shot at pulling off the unthinkable. Johnny Nelson, always willing to dissect the mindset of fight.
If he returns to the ring, do you feel the same way? Would he beat Daniel Dubois?
I think he has the beating of Daniel Dubois, yeah.
Really?
But Daniel Dubois is so strong, so heavy-handed. He's a fighter on the rise that actually believes himself. He's 27 years old. He's now had some back-to-back wins that have lifted his self-belief, self-confidence massively, for him to think, damn, you know, I can...
Fighters spoke about Dubois' belief in momentum. He acknowledged that confidence can fuel a fighter, but quickly reminded everyone that confidence doesn't beat champions. Dubois might feel ready, but he hasn't faced anyone remotely close to Fury's level. Back-to-back wins over second-tier opponents can't erase the memories of his past collapses.
Because Daniel, you know, Tyson Fury's mind games would not work on Daniel whatsoever. And you saw, and that is part of Tyson Fury's armory when he has a fight. He's got to be able to get into the head of an opponent. He'll either be your enemy or your foe. I don't think any of it will work with Daniel.
Nelson went on to break down exactly why Fury would test Dubois' self-belief to the breaking point. The Gypsy King's footwork, feints, and relentless pressure are designed to dismantle fighters from the inside out. Dubois, who has shown a tendency to mentally crumble under adversity, would find himself unraveling long before the final bell. Hype can't carry you through 12 rounds with a master technician like Fury, and Nelson wasn't finished.
Well, he's 15 times the fighter that Francis Ngannou is. I know he might not have been up for it, but in terms of like athleticism, you know, that will to win, and he's got a boxing, he's got a boxing background. He's schooled. He's not like.
He turned his focus to Fury's psychological warfare, a weapon as dangerous as his jab. Nelson suggested that Fury's mind games might not crack Dubois, but even he seemed unsure as the words left his mouth. Daniel has been mentally broken before, and Fury's mental warfare is legendary. If fighters like Wladimir Klitschko and Deontay Wilder, both far more seasoned than Dubois, struggled with Fury's psychological tricks, how could Daniel possibly withstand it? Shane McGuigan also weighed in on Dubois' chances, and while he tried to sound supportive, his hesitancy was glaring. He raised questions about Fury's current level, but still admitted Dubois would struggle with the Gypsy King's size, skill set, and relentless pressure. If your own trainer can't deliver a confident assessment of your chances, that's telling. Potential doesn't mean much when the bell rings, and McGuigan's wavering tone spoke volumes.
He won the fight, but I thought that Tyson's performance was really good, and I'm surprised he's so angry about that. I thought he'd sort of accept it more. The first fight was really close. The second fight, I thought Usyk won. And one down the stretch, and I thought Tyson would put his hands up.
Adam Smith, one of boxing's most respected voices, seemed torn between respect and disbelief. He noted that Fury fought brilliantly in his recent bouts, even in the controversial loss to Alexander Usyk, but was quick to point out that Fury didn't take the defeat well, and that, Smith argued, was typical of the Gypsy King. Tyson Fury isn't built to accept second place. That refusal to accept defeat, Smith explained, is precisely what makes Fury so dangerous. The moment a fighter accepts losing as a possibility, he's finished. Fury doesn't allow that mentality to creep into his psyche. He genuinely believes he won the first Usyk fight, and that belief is what fuels his fire. While Smith expected Fury to show humility and acknowledge Usyk's win, Fury doubled down instead. That tells you this man isn't interested in closure. He's itching for redemption. Behind the scenes, Fury's team was already moving with intent, plotting the next major step in his career. Spencer Brown revealed what most fans already suspected. Tyson Fury remains the biggest name in heavyweight boxing.
Championship rounds. 10, 11, 12. It was scrappy, it was messy, and it was just kind of like winning the argument. But when you watch it and score it, gloves are hitting you. It was just busy, wasn't it? It was busy. But did you feel it was slipping away from you at the end? Or did you feel you was doing enough?
No, I felt like I'd done it. I felt like I was up before the bell had gone. 30 seconds, I only needed 30 seconds rest. I was up off my stool.
The fighter everyone wants a piece of. Whether it's a mega showdown with Anthony Joshua or a trilogy with Usyk, the demand for Fury's return is electric. And tellingly, Dubois isn't even in those conversations. That fact alone says everything about where he stands. Turki Alalshik, one of the power players behind the biggest fights, isn't dreaming up a Fury-Dubois clash. He's focused on the true legacy bouts, the fights that define eras. Fury versus Joshua, Fury versus Usyk, those are the matchups that make the world stop and watch. Dubois is an afterthought, still banging on the door, begging to be taken seriously, and that's the difference. While Dubois chases relevance, Fury is shaping the global fight landscape. If the two ever do share the ring, it will be a favor from the king to the peasant. Nobody's screaming for Dubois. This isn't about who deserves a shot. It's about who makes the world tune in, and that's Tyson Fury. Spencer Brown also confirmed what diehard Fury fans already know. The Gypsy King hasn't moved on.
And hope that these shots start getting through and he can maybe cause the referee to stop Usyk.
Absolutely. Well, that's only 3 weeks away. We cannot wait for it. You are making me excited about it. I feel on tenterhooks for this contest.
From the Usyk defeat, he believes he won, and that belief burns deep. Fury isn't the type to retire quietly after a controversial decision. That fire isn't bitterness, it's fuel. Brown even backed Fury's stance, saying the first Usyk fight was razor close, the kind of battle you run back for the sake of history. For Fury, closure only comes through dominance. That's what makes Dubois' callouts look so laughable. Fury isn't worried about him. He's obsessed with righting wrongs at the highest level, proving to the world that he remains the premier heavyweight of his era. Dubois, by comparison, is just a young fighter shouting from the sidelines, desperate to stay relevant. Adam Smith returned to the debate, urging reflection and acceptance. But that's just not Tyson Fury's way. You don't become heavyweight champion of the world by graciously accepting losses. Yes, Usyk edged their second bout, but to Fury, every round lost feels like robbery. That mentality is what has kept him unbeaten for so long. Champions don't
Realize who we really are, the world would change. I think the whole world would change instantly. Oh, so much to unpack with that. But right now, I'm going to start with Usyk on the 19th of July. That's where it starts.
And I can see the motivation, man, in your eyes, man. And you can see it in the last couple of
finalized defeat. They erase it. While Fury plots revenge, Dubois continues talking, making threats that feel more forced than feared. He's promising dangerous destruction if given the chance, but against who? He speaks about walking through Fury as if the Gypsy King were some journeyman, not one of the most skilled heavyweights in history. And let's not forget, this is the same Dubois who took a knee against Joe Joyce when the pressure mounted, the same fighter who looked overwhelmed against Usyk. Fury isn't a stationary target you can bully. He's a puzzle, and Dubois hasn't proven he can solve puzzles. He folds under them. His callouts might excite casual fans, but seasoned observers know this isn't a favorable style matchup. It's a schooling waiting to happen. Fury is too slick, too seasoned, and too savage for someone like Dubois. If the fight ever happens, Daniel will find out quickly what dangerous really means. Carl Frampton summed up what
role he's coming off of a massive win against AJ. Usyk's also on a massive roll, so you know.
Most smart fans already believe. Never bet against Tyson Fury. He acknowledged that Dubois has improved, but quickly added an asterisk. Improvement is good, but it isn't enough against elite opposition. Frampton admitted he was disappointed with how Dubois' previous big fights ended. Why? Because Daniel quit. You can spin it however you want, but champions don't give up when the going gets tough. When Frampton calls someone a genius in the ring, it's not empty praise. He knows greatness when he sees it, and he sees it in Fury. The Gypsy King isn't just big and strong, he has one of the highest boxing IQs in the sport. He adapts on the fly, reads his opponents, and breaks them mentally. Dubois might hit harder now, might be fitter, but when the heat rises and game plans fall apart, Fury thrives. Dubois panics. That's the gap between them. Frampton admitted he's backed fighters against Fury before, only to watch the Gypsy King prove him wrong every single time. This time, he won't make that mistake. Dubois might talk the talk, but walking through Tyson Fury is a completely different reality.
Dubois is certainly a much more dangerous fighter than he was, so he does have a chance to win the fight, but in saying that, I've backed against Usyk a couple of times, and specifically the Fury.
And then there's Fury himself. When it comes to addressing doubters, nobody speaks with more raw fire than the Gypsy King. He reminded everyone that Dubois has already been handled by both Anthony Joshua and Usyk. So what makes anyone think he belongs in the same conversation as him? Fury calls himself the only man to have truly beaten Usyk, and whether people agree or not, his confidence is unshakable. He doesn't deal in hypotheticals, he deals in legacy. Gypsy King all day, every day isn't just a slogan, it's reality. He's fought the best, beaten the best, and even when the judges didn't side with him, he's never lost his grip on the division. If Dubois couldn't take Usyk's fire and struggled against Joyce, what on earth makes him think he can handle Tyson Fury? This is Fury's world, and every version of a heavyweight showdown still ends the same way with him standing tall, and even the sharpest business minds in boxing are questioning Dubois' world-level credibility. Eddie Hearn didn't sugarcoat it. He said flat out that Daniel Dubois doesn't beat a real world champion right now. Coming from a top promoter who knows elite talent when he sees it, that's damning. Yes, Dubois is improving. Yes, he's dedicated. But improvement doesn't automatically make you ready for a...
And Usyk just dined out Dubois. So it's quite pointless. The only man who's been able to beat this fucker is myself. And been ripped off. So I'm not sure what's going on.
A monster like Fury. Dubois hasn't faced a fight that truly tested every ounce of his being. He hasn't been in the fires that burn away excuses and expose who you really are. Fury has lived in those fires, whether it was the Wilder trilogy, dethroning Klitschko, or going to war with Usyk. Dubois, by comparison, folded against Joyce and looked lost against Usyk. Eddie's message was clear. Daniel isn't battle-tested, and that lack of pedigree would become painfully obvious against Tyson Fury. Fury doesn't just beat fighters like Dubois, he exposes them, he breaks them mentally and physically, and when the dust settles, they're left questioning whether they ever belonged in the ring with him. It all comes down to this. Tyson Fury, the unbeaten giant who's conquered legends and carried the heavyweight division on his back, versus Daniel Dubois, the young contender desperate for validation. Dubois insists he's evolved, that he's ready to shock the world, but history doesn't lie. Champions don't crumble under pressure, and Dubois has done exactly that in the past. Fury has stared down Deontay Wilder's right hand.
I'm being serious. I think there's absolutely no way he can beat a world champion and become world champion. But I will say he's improving a lot. He's dedicated to the sport. I don't know how good he is because he hasn't really faced a real fighter yet. It's not his fault. He signed to fight Tommy Fury.
And outclassed Vladimir Klitschko and gone toe-to-toe with Usyk in back-to-back wars. Dubois, by comparison, hasn't proven himself on that stage. Experience, ring IQ, psychological warfare, Fury dominates in every department. And this isn't just about belts anymore. It's about legacy, pride, and proving who truly rules the heavyweight era. If Fury wins, he reaffirms what most already believe, that he's the greatest heavyweight of his generation. Full stop. But if Dubois somehow pulls off the unthinkable, everything changes. The hierarchy flips and a new king is crowned. Still, let's be real. Dubois may hit hard, but Fury breaks men before the first bell. So here's the question. Are you backing the Gypsy King to silence another doubter in dominant fashion? Or do you believe Daniel Dubois has what it takes to do what no man has ever done? Defeat Tyson Fury decisively. Drop your predictions below.